Alright guys, now we're gonna do our in-depth review of Green Lantern, starring Ryan Reynolds. And I really think Reynolds really brought it.
Yeah.
He was the guy, he was perfect, he carried the whole movie.
Yeah. I mean, you know, years back when the rumors first came out that there might be a Green Lantern movie, first there were also rumors of a Flash movie.
Yeah.
And people said Ryan Reynolds' humor was perfect for the Flash.
Exactly, that's the same thing I thought. Yeah.
Stuff like that. And you were not alone, dude. A lot of people thought that way. But if you see, there's this really good comic artist who did this, Alex Ross. And his Hal Jordan looks like Ryan Reynolds.
That's cool.
And so when he finally put on the mask and got into the CG outfit, I thought he nailed it. And you know, in the comics, Hal Jordan, there's a bit, he's kind of got a burden on his shoulders because he saw his father die before his eyes. The character has gone through a lot in the past 10-15 years or so, that he's become evil, he died, he was resurrected as the Spectre, and finally 5 years ago, Jeff Johns, the writer and producer, one of the producers of this film, decided to put him back into the Green Lantern outfit. And I thought it was great. I thought he really nailed Hal Jordan.
Yeah, and you know, it's a good point you bring about Alex Ross, because I felt, in a way, you know, I felt this is an Alex Ross movie.
Yeah.
You know, it was his artwork coming to life, pretty much.
I know.
There's certain scenes where I could see it, you know.
Yeah, there's the horizon and stuff like that.
Yeah, and like you said, you know, it really looks like Ryan Reynolds is bringing an Alex Ross portrait of Green Lantern to life.
Yep. Yeah. And I had a bit of trepidation as far as Blake Lively, because I don't watch Gossip Girl, but I've seen her on Saturday Night Live, and she kind of giggled a bit too much when she hosted SNL. So I was,
they all do.
Yeah. But I was thinking, man, can she bring it to Carol Ferris? Because Carol Ferris in the comics, she's a pretty strong woman who eventually ends up as a supervillain too, as the Star Sapphire.
And there's a bit of a wink to that, right?
Yeah, there's a wink to that.
Her call sign.
Her call sign on the plane is Sapphire. But surprisingly, she was not alone. She was quite good. I thought she was hot, which is essential. And she's a good match for Reynolds.
Yeah.
She could pull off being a boss to Ryan Reynolds, and you know, handling a company like Ferris Aircraft.
Made the relationship believable.
Yeah.
And you know, like compared to Natalie Portman in Thor, I mean, in Thor, yeah, she was the love interest, but like my whole, I think I mentioned this before. Yeah, with Thor, the disjoint about
suddenly she's already giddy and giggling, looking at Thor's abs,
and like Thor was like felt inspired by her to like change his arrogant ways, but like here. You know, the way Blake Lively is portrayed, essentially, she's like an inspiration to Hal Jordan to like,
She's actually an adult while he's still a juvenile, pretty much. Yeah.
And the relationship is more key to the character's redemption.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what worked here.
You know, to be fair to the Natalie Portman character though, in the Green Lantern story, Carol Ferris and Hal Jordan have known each other since they were kids.
Right.
So there's that backstory there, and they've had a relationship. But you can't take away the chemistry that these two actors have. And I really like when they spoiler alert, Carol Ferris instantly sees through the green mask.
I love that.
When she sees through the green mask, she's like, "Oh my God, Hal! I've seen you naked. You wouldn't think I see it was you just because I can't see your cheekbones."
Exactly.
Some of the best lines in the film.
That scene, I was like cringing. I was like, "Oh man, if she doesn't like recognize him through that mask, through that domino mask, I think, oh, that's gonna look so stupid."
Yeah.
You know, and they played it as a good joke. It was a good,
really funny.
they are flipping superhero conventions here, which is what I loved.
Yeah.
You know, so kudos to them for seeing that.
Right. And again, we really liked the supporting cast. I mean, Mark Strong as Sinestro.
Pitch perfect. I mean, he showed the nobility.
Yeah, in the past few, DC has made some animated movies featuring the Green Lantern recently. There was one called Green Lantern First Flight, which had Victor Garber as Sinestro, also known as Jack Bristow alias. And in Green Lantern Emerald Knights, it was Jason Isaacs who was Sinestro. And again, these are really good, strong actors. And they're supposed to steal the show, and Mark Strong does. Mark Strong steals the show every time he shows up in the pink makeup, and you have to stay until like at the very start of the credits. There's a scene there. You don't have to wait till the very end, but there's a scene there that sets up, hopefully, a sequel for this film that'll really bring the Sinestro Hal Jordan relationship to the next level. Because in the comics, way back when Hal Jordan was first introduced, they had a superficial supervillain, superhero relationship. But as time has gone on, it's been retconned to the point that
they made it,
they were actually good friends.
Right.
Sinestro actually served as a mentor to Hal.
Yeah.
And that's made the fall of Sinestro even more tragic, and that's made their confrontations even more intense.
Yeah. Although it wasn't necessary for this movie, but I like the idea the way they played it as Sinestro's one of the greatest Green Lanterns.
Yeah.
And they are somewhat rivals here.
Yes. Yeah. And I like also having Temuera Morrison as Abin Sur. Temuera Morrison seems to keep being cast as that guy, because he was Jango Fett in the Star Wars prequels. He was Doctore in the most recent Spartacus, Gods of the Arena. And since these New Zealanders, they can portray so many races, and now he's even portraying a pink alien. So he's pretty good as Abin Sur. And I also like Taika Waititi as Tom Talmaku, as Pieface. Because they didn't leave him as a stereotypical Eskimo.
And he's got one of the best lines.
Yeah, he's got one of the best lines about the ring. And I thought they played off each other well also, because Tom in recent years he hasn't been as big a character in the Green Lantern mythos, but way back when Hal was first introduced in the 50s, he was essential to keeping Hal's secret. He was the sidekick that he was basically like a Robin to the Batman, though not in a superhero sense. And I like that they kept him here, and he was very involved with the Ferris aircraft scenes.
Right. Peter Sarsgaard, I felt was he really hammed it up here, and my main quibble about his role in the movie was that they showed the background, the connection between him and Hal Jordan a little bit too late. I think they should have built that up a little bit more.
There wasn't enough mention of an early relationship between Hector Hammond, Hal Jordan, and Carol Ferris, because it was implied that they've known each other for a long time, because he was still collecting clips about Carol Ferris. Maybe they should have said it a bit more. Yeah,
they should have built that up a little bit more. But in the end, even though it's halfway through the movie, it still pays off.
Yeah.
In their confrontation.
I actually like Peter Sarsgaard's Hector Hammond more than his wife Maggie Gyllenhaal's District Attorney Rachel
Dawes.
Yeah, Rachel Dawes in The Dark Knight, because he gets to do so much more. He really plays it up, and through the makeup, I think he stole every scene he was in. There was some humor there also, but it's mostly with the prosthetics and stuff. You can still feel him acting. This is somebody who said he was never going to do a comic book movie. Well, he did it well. Bravo to him.
Yeah, and I love their confrontation. I like the whole